live 24-hour news source continues. Brought to you by Ohio Edison.
Good evening. We begin with the story of a local woman tonight who survived a terrible tragedy that touched many of us.
She put up a brave fight, and in the end, she was laid to rest today. It is a sad story that began earlier this month when Brenda Perry became a victim of a house fire. She was 8 months pregnant. She gave birth the day after that fire, but at the time when she brought a new life into this world, she also suffered the loss of 3 of her other children who died as a result of that fire. Brenda was so weak after the ordeal and still under hospital care that 2 weeks passed before she could finally meet and hold her newborn son, Patrick, in her arms. What a truly touching moment that was. But last Tuesday, Brenda Perry lost her own battle for life when a rare form of pneumonia killed her. Family and friends gathered today to say goodbye. They say she'll be remembered as a woman who cared for her family and as an inspiration to all those who knew her.
She always had a smile and always had a laugh. She was a loving and caring mother, just like any other. She was a special person that I will admit, and anyone can tell you it.
Brenda is survived by her sons Patrick and Robbie Jr. and her husband Robbie Sr. Funds have been set up for the family at National City and Star Bank branches.
Well, it started out as just a high school basketball game between rival teams, Shaw High School up against Cleveland Heights. But the situation turned dangerous and then violent in the blink of an eye. While the teams were playing ball on the court, fans were going at it in the bleachers. News Channel 5's David Shifter joins us from our 24-hour newsroom with more. David, you've been talking with people who were there at the game. What set all of this off?
Bill, a police officer puts it best. A fire sparking another, then another. A News Channel 5 photographer catches it all as something sets off the fans.
It was any other Friday night high school game until attention turns to a disturbance in the bleachers. A fight breaks out.
All of a sudden, somebody said, there go a fight, and everybody just started running towards the fight.
Some run towards the action, others make a clear getaway. As disturbing as it is, some even appear to cheer on the fighting. The dozen or so police and security officers find themselves dangerously outnumbered. Sergeant James Copeland, the officer on the left, tries to control a fan.
And one fight led to another fight, that led to another fight. It's like being trying to put out a bunch of forest fires.
The fires continue breaking out. One by one, officers struggle through the crowds to get to the source, dragging them away, stomping out the flames.
It's just a shame that a bunch of people who don't have anything positive to do with the kids come in and destroy something that we're trying to build here.
Police didn't make any arrests during the game, but that could change once they review videotapes taken throughout. They could show exactly where in the bleachers the fighting began, and if they can identify certain individuals, they say they'll arrest them.
Now officials will try to reduce the chance it'll ever happen again. Police admit there are no promises.
To look at our process that we use for entry and exit of folks coming in and come up with maybe a better plan. You can't prevent anything. All you can do is plan it a little better next time.
Fortunately, nobody was injured in all this. Police and school administrators will be reviewing security procedures during games.
David, what did the police say about gang involvement?
Bill, there is none. Had police noticed any gang trends, fashions on people going in, for example, they would have been stopped at the door. Nobody apparently gang-related.
David Shifter in our 24-hour newsroom. Thanks. Tanya?
A brave 12-year-old boy has lost his battle to cancer. Robert Dickman died this afternoon at his home in Bay Village. The story of how Robert fought his cancer inspired many people. Just yesterday, hundreds of Bay Village students held a walkathon that raised more than $15,000 towards Robert's expenses. And when Robert told his story to us last month, many donors said he was the reason they came out to help us with an emergency blood drive for the Red Cross. A memorial for Robert will be held this Thursday at 7 p.m. at Bay Presbyterian Church.
Police in Brook Park continue their search tonight for suspects in a shooting at the Charter House Hotel. Police say they were called to the hotel early this morning. They thought they were responding to a disturbance, but instead they found 48-year-old Patrick Sullivan dead in the hotel elevator. He had been shot to death. Sullivan is from West Virginia. He was in town visiting friends. And we have an update for you on another story. One of the 3 victims of an execution-style murder on West 46th Street from earlier this week has died. The victim was 20-year-old Terrence Faust. He, along with 2 other people, were shot when gunmen stormed a house. they were opening fire on. The other 2 people died shortly after the shooting. The suspects are still on the loose. Police believe the shooting was the result of a drug deal gone bad.
Turning now to international news, the prospects for peace in the Middle East appear to be weaker after yesterday's massacre at a mosque in the West Bank where a Jewish settler opened fire on Muslim worshippers. And now, in a bid to keep negotiations underway between Arabs and Jews in the region, President Clinton is intervening. He's talking with both Egyptian and Israeli leaders. Tonight, though, Palestinians abroad and here at home are in mourning. Mass demonstrations marked the first of 3 official days of mourning in Jordan. Here in downtown Amman, nearly 4,000 people protested. This as a result of Friday's massacre. More than 60 worshipers died after a Jewish settler walked into a West Bank mosque and began gunning down people. Today, while there is protest and prayer, there is also a push for action. The Jordanian legislature is calling for the removal of Jewish settlements from the occupied territories, and Egyptian leaders believe the UN needs to get involved.
The first thing is to check those settlers, because among them there are many extremists, and those fundamentalists, extremists, or terrorists, or criminals should not be allowed to rule, should not be allowed to do what they have done.
Top Israeli authorities say they hope the peace talks don't collapse because of the tragedy.
I hope not, because if it will be suspended, the only one who may appear as winning the day are the ones who want to kill the peace process. And we should not permit them to become the masters of the day.
The people united to make
Here in Cleveland, a world away from yesterday's violence, the Muslim community gathered calling the massacre an act of terrorism.
The immediate solution to this problem is to disarm all Israeli settlers. Thereafter, we demand the total and immediate dismantlement of Israeli settlements on Arab land.
This is not the first time the settlers have done this. They have done this a number of times. But this is the first time they've done it in a holy site during a prayer during the holy month of Ramadan. So we take it as an attack on all the Muslims in the world, which are over 1 billion.
The UN Security Council tonight will not be adopting a resolution condemning the massacre. The council has adjourned after the U.S. and the PLO could not agree on the language in the resolution. Friday's violence in the occupied West Bank prompted peace talks between the Muslim-led Bosnian government and the Croats to be moved to Washington, D.C. And today, those talks got underway. The mission of the UN peace plan is to end a 2-year-old war between the two sides. This is just the first stage of the plan, which later involves talks with the Serbs. The ceasefire between the Croats and the Muslims has been in effect since yesterday. So far, only random gunfire has been reported. UN officials believe the ceasefire will work even though it is not backed by the same NATO ultimatum as Sarajevo. UN soldiers are helping to enforce the ceasefire in central Bosnia, but UN officials say that more soldiers are still needed.
Innocent people tired of being victims of drug-related crimes gathered today to boost concerns and come up with some answers. East Cleveland residents, community leaders, and police officers met at the North Branch Library and all agreed that something has to be done simply to get drugs off their streets.
It is time for East Cleveland and all of its residents to raise up and do something.
We need parent empowerment and parental involvement. Because by the time the police gets the child off the street and the judge sees the child, many times that child is already lost.
A demonstration is planned for early next month in March to bring more awareness to the community. Meantime, the threat of a strike at Parmadale is over. Service employees ratified a 3-year contract with that facility earlier today. The contract guarantees wage increases for all union employees over the next 3 years. It also recognizes seniority wage increases and preserves a fringe benefit package. Parmadale takes care of children with a variety of emotional problems. Their care will continue uninterrupted, and that contract goes into effect the 1st of March.
Coming up next on News Channel 511, Branch Davidians now know their fate as a jury reaches a verdict in their murder trial.
Plus, the quaint little town of Lillehammer has a hidden secret. Find out what it is when we come back.
This is household trash, and so was this. Ohio Edison is testing a technology that turns trash into pellets to use as fuel to generate electricity. If successful, this could provide a new source of energy and help reduce landfill problems. Trash to energy is just one of the ideas we're researching to produce electricity at the lowest cost to you and the environment.
Caravan just keeps getting better. In fact, it already meets 1998 car safety requirements. The Dodge National Minivan sale makes it better, too. Depending on which Caravan you choose, you can save up to $2,600, including discounts on options and cash back. And if you think this year sounds great, just wait till next year. On second thought, don't wait. See your nearest Dodge dealer today.
Quality oil paintings are just too expensive.
Not this Sunday. The Starving Artist Group is back with a huge brand new collection from talented but undiscovered artists. Giant sofa-size oil paintings from $19, smaller accent paintings from $7, and still absolutely nothing over $49. It's a Starving Artist sale this Sunday, 11 to 4.
In Cleveland at the Airport Marriott, and in Wickliffe at the Holiday Inn, also in Akron at the Hilton Inn West, and in Canton at the Holiday Inn Belden Village this Sunday, 11 to 4.
He has 23 gold singles, 9 platinum albums, and he's still rocking and rolling. I'm Lee Jordan. We'll talk with singer Tommy James Monday, live on 5.
A jury reaches a split decision today on cult followers of the late David Koresh.
All 11 defendants were found innocent of murder, but 5 were convicted of the lesser crime of voluntary manslaughter, and 2 were found guilty on weapons charges. The cult members had been charged with killing federal agents during the federal agents' botched raid on the Branch Davidian compound almost exactly a year ago. That raid, as you know, led to a 51-day standoff, which ended in flames. Koresh and 78 followers died rather than allow federal agents to capture them. Prosecutors claim victory today, saying 7 convictions shows that the agents did not die in vain. But cult members also said they won today, and they asked God to bless the jurors.
President Clinton calls his anti-crime bill tough and smart. Mr. Clinton delivered his weekly radio address from an inner-city police station in Washington, D.C. today to urge passage of the measure. In his speech, the president noted he's already given police a new tool in fighting crime, the Brady Bill, and its required waiting period, which takes effect on Monday. Meantime, Republicans say President Clinton is focusing far too much on gun control, and in response to his anti-crime proposal, they don't feel it goes far enough.
Pains me to say it, but many members of the president's party are resisting the tough measures this nation needs to put away repeat offenders who commit violent crimes. Rather than taking a tough stand, many of them end up coddling the criminal.
Mr. Clinton's anti-crime bill puts 3-time felons behind bars for life, bans assault weapons, and puts 100,000 more police officers on the streets over 5 years.
More political problems in Russia tonight. The conservatives who did battle literally against President Boris Yeltsin and his reforms, they are free men tonight. Last year, the hardliners were taken out of parliament at gunpoint. Today, they walked out of a Moscow prison. Their release came after the Russian parliament granted amnesty to the leaders of last October's bloody uprising against Yeltsin's reforms. You can see the cheers for them there today. Parliament's decision prompted Russia's prosecutor general to resign. He said he just couldn't bring himself to free guilty men.
As millions watch the Olympics in Lillehammer, Norway, many have come to learn just how expensive things are in that country. Apparently, even the cost to do your laundry is too expensive for many. Some people are turning their dirty underwear inside out so they could wear it again. That's pretty gross. Well, that news prompted the folks at Hanes to rush 7,000 new pairs of underwear to Norway. A Hanes spokesman says the company couldn't help thinking of every mother's warning about not going out in dirty skivvies.
Now, well, and I don't know. I wonder if Hanes rushed it there for free, or if they, I'll tell you, supply and demand. You can make a lot of money on underwear if
I'm
people need it.
just glad those folks are wearing clean underwear. My goodness. Coming up, the weather, folks. A nice clean forecast.
Right. Let's transition from dirty underwear to Brad Sussman when we come back.
I get a lot of mail, and I get to meet some fascinating people. That's because so many local folks have inspirational stories to tell. I'm Lorna Barrett. It's been an uplifting experience for me to bring you success stories weeknights at 11. It's a bright spot of positive news about groups, businesses, and your neighbors who are making a difference. Do you know someone with a success story? If so, you can write to me, too, at this address. Watch Success Stories, some good news, weeknights at 11, here on News Channel 5.
Do you have a clean driving record for the last 5 years? Had the same insurance company for the past 3 years? Have all the drivers in your household had their licenses that long? Own your home? Whoa! If you answered yes, 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 you could save 20% on a large portion of your auto insurance. Better call an Allstate agent fast.
When used correctly, psychics have a lot of ability to help people.
Psychics. It's something worth talking about on the next Rolanda.
Monday at 11 on News Channel 5.
Dad has always been proud of me. He was so impressed when I graduated from medical school and when my practice got going. Now I've leased a '94 Cadillac DeVille with a luxurious interior, the airbank system that helps to protect all 3 front seat passengers, and an attractive smart lease. Dad's so proud. He tells everyone his little girl is driving a Cadillac.
See your local Cadillac Gold Key dealers for attractive smart lease terms on a new 1994 Cadillac DeVille.
Frank Sinatra, Jill St. Johnny, and Tony Rome, Late Night Sunday.
Our Brad Sussman is doing the local weather tonight and the national weather tomorrow.
With clean underwear, I might add.
I'm sure your wife is glad to hear that.
So tell us all about this tomorrow.
Well, Good Morning America is going to be live from Gateway, as a matter of fact. We're going to be broadcasting via satellite across the United States doing the national weather a couple of times, and you can see that here on TV5 between 11 and noon. It's going to be a lot of fun. First national appearance of Gateway.
Nervous at all?
No, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Is this your first national appearance?
Yes, it is, as a matter of fact.
Right.
It's going to be fun. Hey, you know, you want to talk about something else that's making national news? Our weather, as a matter of fact. Take a look. We had over 1 foot of snow in some areas today, and most areas, well, let's say between 4 inches and 1 foot. At the National Weather Service, officially 4 inches, but people were shoveling away, and the snow plows were going, and luckily streets are cleared right now. And our skies have also cleared, and that does not bode well for the temperature, my friends, as it's plummeting downwards as we speak. We're still going to pick up some flurries tonight, as we do have a system moving in, upper-level disturbance moving in from the west, so we're going to keep the flurries in the forecast. Nonetheless, pretty cold. 22 our afternoon high, 14 our morning low. 68 record high in 1944, minus 15 in 1963. Sunset tomorrow, 6:16. Right now we are cooler than our morning low. This will go down as our official low. 8 degrees, humidity 88%, north winds at 5. Snowfall at the National Weather Service, 4 inches, putting us well above normal for this time of year. 8 degrees right now in Cleveland. As you see, Toledo, the real cold spot at 1 degree. And Parkersburg, 17. Huntington is 21, and still some snow flurries across the Appalachians right now. Lake temperature is 34 degrees. What's going on nationally? Well, we got a big system to the west of us. We're going to have to watch. Area of low pressure is racing off into the Atlantic. That's what brought us the snow overnight. We've got a large area of high pressure building in. In fact, this area of high pressure will be sliding down from Canada, delivering us another dose of really cold air. Tomorrow, luckily, we will see some sunshine. In fact, we're looking at a mix of clouds and sunshine, but we won't see warm temperatures, not for a couple of days. In fact, highs tomorrow will be in the low to mid-20s throughout the region. Well, the forecast for tonight calling for clear skies, cold temperatures, again, still holding those isolated flurries in there. Winds north 5 to 15, low a big goose egg at 0. Now for tomorrow, cloud-sun mix with a few flurries, light winds and high temperature of 25 degrees. Here's the 5-day forecast. 25 tomorrow with a cloud-sun mix. We'll see a few flurries late in the day on Monday with a high of 35. Snow on Tuesday, keeping that temperature at 35. Wednesday, 33 with still snow moving in. And Thursday, we'll make it up to 40 after the snow ends. The wake-up forecast, some flurries, very cold, as we'll be out there at Gateway with temperatures 0 to 5 degrees. We will be bundled up, I guarantee you. And tomorrow morning, you want to check that temperature before you wake up. After you wake up, before you go outside. 931-1212, time, temperature, weather together. It's called Weather First.
Call them in your sleep, though.
That's right.
Wear your lawn clean underwear.
Oh, yeah. Listen, it's going to be more than that. Ski pants, heavy boots, the whole bit. We're going to have a lot of fun.
We'll be watching.
All right.
And stay away from the dirty jokes. I'm talking about all the underwear talk. It's just a bit. Coming up next in sports.
The Cavs go for a record 6 straight in a row. Sports is next.
The Lexus ES Custom Tailored Lease. For only $389 a month, it is a lease so thrilling that famed opera singer Ugo Pergolotti was stirred to sing the entire terms of agreement in C major.
Pronto per tutto l'anno del giorno, sempre d'intorno, in giro sta. Miglio cucagna per un barbieri, vita più nobile non si dà. Di qualità, largo il
The front-wheel drive ES. Only $389 a month. Lease one today.
Our hope. A dream is a wish your heart makes when you're fast asleep.
Nancy Kerrigan, you've won the hearts of the world. What are you going to do next?
I'm going to Disney World.
My family owns a caravan, Dodge caravan, Dodge caravan. My family owns a caravan, and it's not a lot of dough. America's best-selling minivan, Dodge caravan, Dodge caravan. America's best-selling minivan, there's no safer one we know.
The Cavs are on a roll.
Yeah. That's right, Bill. And it was a little scary at first, even though it was the Mavericks in town. But the Cavs resurrected themselves and came out just fine. Jimmy Jackson told you at 6 o'clock that his Mavericks are a much-improved team. And they proved that to the Cavaliers early on tonight. Mike Fratello and his troops were shooting for a season-high 6-game win streak. But in the first quarter, it was Dallas who was doing all the shooting. And Jamal Mashburn was auditioning for Rookie of the Year. He had 25 points on the night, 13 in the first quarter to help outscore the Cavs 31-18. But the Cavs rallied back, and here we just saw Mark Price's three put the Cavs ahead 50-48. And Tyrone Hill, what a night. He and Chris Mills and Bobby Phills dominated the rest of the way. Tyrone matched his season high with 24 points. He also pulled down his usual double-digit rebounds. And there we just saw Terrell Brandon, I should say. He helped spark the Cavs bench and pull away from the Mavericks 110-99 and extend their winning ways to 6 after a very sluggish start tonight.
The difference was the defensive end and getting a body on guys. They were getting second and third opportunities, and they were shooting the ball well. And we had guys finally rotating after that first quarter, helping one another out. And once we got that tie at halftime, we never looked back.
Another injury put a damper on this win. If you're squeamish, beware. John Battle goes up for the rebound, and ooh, watch this fall on his already twisted arm. He also lands on his elbow and wrist. Initial diagnosis is a dislocated elbow. Not sure how long he'll be out for, but in the meantime, his doggedness will be missed.
I have a very special affection for John Battle as a person, and he has been through more injuries in his career with knee problems, et cetera, and that was a terrible spill he took there. I'm very, very sorry. I just hope that the thing heals well for him.
Well, things started well for Danny Manning and his era in Atlanta. Manning scored 10 points in 25 minutes tonight, his first game as a Hawk, and he contributed to an Atlanta win, handing the 76ers their 9th straight defeat. Well, Cleveland State was trying to build a little momentum heading into the conference tournament, and they knew they needed a big night from Sam Mitchell if they were going to have a chance against second-place Valparaiso. Mike Boyd had to be a happy camper early. CSU did get a big night from Sam Mitchell. He led the Vikings with 27 here with a strong finish. Malcolm Sims, well, he also tried to help the cause. He had 19 on the night, but Valpo controlled the boards and drove at will, only extending its 40-33 halftime lead. It's the first time in 10 years Cleveland State has lost at home to Valparaiso, 83-76 the final. Well, Ohio State visited Judd Heathcote and his Spartans, hoping to get a win and stave off its first losing season in 17 years. But Sean Respert was not in a sympathetic mood. He had 19. Lawrence Funderburk tried to jumpstart his team. OSU shot only 26% in the first half. And Ken McKinley's Eric Snow shows why he leads the Big Ten in assists, here with the little alley-oop to Anthony Miller. And a little sweet ball handling for Anthony Miller. He had 22 on the night. And it was just a bad loss for Ohio State. They lose 75-60, and they're headed for its first losing season since 1977. Well, it's state tournament time for high school hockey, and a couple of local teams trying to skate their way to the big dance. Brooklyn Recreation Center was the spot for both contests, and early this evening, Chris Bohm of Cleveland Heights did everything in his power to make sure his Tigers would advance. His 2 goals helped make the difference as Heights squeaked by 6-4. Earlier in the day, it was perennial power St. Ed's and St. Ignatius playing for the other semifinal spot. The Eagles were too much for St. Ignatius. They blanked them 5-0 and are heading to Bowling Green next Saturday to take on Toledo St. John's. Okay, enough with the frozen ponds, and with the weather we've had the last few days, opening day couldn't come soon enough. And we're already talking about opening day pitchers. Mike Hargrove will start the first 2 exhibition games, respectively, with Charles Nagy and Dennis Martinez. But who can we look for to close them out? Last year was more like who didn't get the job done. But new pitching coach Phil Regan wants to take a stand on that early.
We're going to try to settle on one closer. I know last year they had 3 or 4 guys that were that had several, 10 to 15 saves, but ideally, we'd like to zero in on one person and make him the closer and know that that's the person we go to.
But you know what? It's still not baseball time. Let's check out the NBA, NHL, and a little NPSL scores on the scoreboard tonight.
What do Cleveland sports fans want? The most complete sports wrap-up in town. Sports Sunday. Sunday night at 11:25 on News Channel 5.
Your Pontiac dealers are so excited by the Cleveland Auto Show, they're seeing double. So they're doubling current factory rebates with special auto show incentives on their 2 most popular models. For a limited time, qualifying buyers can double their value on new Grand Ams with $500 extra cash back for a total of $1,000. Or double your value on Bonneville with $750 extra cash back for a total of $1,500. Double your excitement with special auto show incentives. Get the details at the Cleveland Auto Show or see your Northern Ohio Pontiac dealer today.
The search for the best price in sight continues.
Optical companies are making claims and counterclaims, so we sent the vision investigators to the field. Phil?
Here at the mall, we're checking the one-hour Places exam included offer.
Yes, they paid for my eye exam. The glasses were about $175.
Interesting. Dana, what did you find?
I'm here at the Eyeglass Factory, and we found a great deal. $39.95. 2 pair of glasses, and the eye exam was included.
The vision investigators with an eye on optical value, and again, it's the Eyeglass Factory. The best price in sight.
A viewer says a local psychic conned her out of more than $1,000, but we helped her get her money back.
On your side, Monday on Live on 5.
Here's a pop quiz for you. How much is this Oldsmobile Cutlass Sierra with airbag, anti-lock brakes, and all of this equipment? Well, maybe before value pricing, but now it's only $14,195. Now, can you tell me what value pricing is? No, more or less. And if this Cutlass Sierra, which gets 31 miles per gallon highway, was traveling east at 55 miles per hour, how far could you get on a half a tank of gas? It's your money.
May I have your attention, please?
You sure may.
Al, this Encore lasagna isn't going to fly. There's too much food here for one flight attendant.
I can't finish all this rich, meaty lasagna by myself.
Whoa, could your jet? Encore's a 2-pound family-size entree.
But my family is 1,000 miles away.
No problem. I'll drop in with my crew at 6 tonight.
Al!
Whoa, where's the fire, Chief?
About this encore.
We'll be there at 7 tomorrow.
For taste and more, it's encore.
It's the time of year to buy a 4x4 from Mullinax Ford. Ranger 4x4s, F-Series 4x4s, Big Broncos and Explorers, even snowplows. On sale at your Mullinax regional superstores.
Well, that's it for this edition of News Channel 5. We hope to see you here tomorrow at 6 and 11. But before that, we hope to see you at Good Morning America at 11 a.m. tomorrow.
Sunday.
Because Brad will be there.
Gateway, right?
Yeah, we're going to be live from Gateway.
Hope you watch that. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a good night.
Bye-bye.